Good afternoon and welcome to another video. As you can see, I'm down a small river. This is the River Arrow in Warwickshire. Now I've come down here today because it was a lovely overcast morning, but as you can see, that's burnt off. The sun has come out. It's about 2:30 now. I've come out just to fish, probably just into dark. As this river has dropped since we were last here. We only fished here once before for many years. We had a couple, 2 nice chub out, missed a few bites as well. So what I've come to do today, something a little bit different, something I mentioned in that video, was when conditions were suitable, we'd do a bit of trotting, and they are, so we're going to. So I've got here my Dower Tournament Pro 15-foot rod, already set up. It's got a Dower 125M close face reel on there. This is the one supplied by Stuart at Artisan Angling, so many thanks to him. Fantastic, he rebuilds these and does a fantastic job, I have to say. So I'm hoping it'll help us to catch some fish today. Now, what I've been doing just for a couple of minutes whilst I've been sorting out is just trickling a bit of mashed bread into this swim here. I'll spin you around, you can have a look. The plan is just going to be to fish 2 or 3 swims with some mashed bread. First one I've selected is here. Now, spin you around that way, you'll see we're on the inside of a bend, but we're quite out in the river here because of what you can see down here. We're on a bit of a sort of spit. The water has basically been thrown onto the far side because, as I say, we're on the inside of a bend and the silt and gravel is built up on the inside, meaning we can get the rod out behind the float. I'll get my words out in a minute. So it's as simple as that. Mashed bread in the old pouch. We're going to put some bread on the hook. Hopefully this is clear enough to do some good. It's a good sort of 1-18 inches of visibility, so I'm hoping we'll do something. If we don't do anything trotting, we'll go on the ledger, but be nice to have a go, see what we can catch. As I say, it looks reasonable. My mashed bread's a bit too stiff. We'll wet this up, and then, as I say, we'll run through here. Then we'll perhaps try the next swim down, because we'll be baiting it from here, and then I've baited a swim upstream as well. Right, without further ado, let's get cracking. As I say, we'll wet this up. Must be nice and sloppy. Doing this, that's it. I want it to break up in the water column. I'll get our towel out as well because it's very messy fishing mashed bread. As I say, hopefully we can have some nice fish out. Fingers crossed. We've never trotted here before. As I say, I've not fished it for many years, and even then I only fished it for one season, a few times. I don't think we've got too much depth here, but we'll find out. There's a bit of cover over there, as you can see. I did miss a bite or two last time when I ledgered a bit further downstream. So I'm hoping to put that right today, and I certainly think, while this sun's out anyway, I think we'll be better off trotting. Looking at the pace on the water, I don't think it's too deep here. We'll just start off about 3 foot and we'll inch deeper should we need to. And if it's a bit shallower than that, obviously we'll shallow up. I'll keep this going in. Right, we'll have a cast, I think. See what we can do. Looking forward to this. I don't think it's particularly deep. No, we're already getting stuck on the bottom. But like I say, if we don't do any good, we can always go onto the ledger. And obviously, if we stay till it gets a bit darker, we'll go on the ledger. We'll perhaps have a walk down and stand down here when we fish this top bit of the run, because actually when the sun's out I can see the bottom down here. It does seem to run through better from 5 meters or so downstream, so it might pay us, as I say, to move a little bit downstream. Certainly cast down there. Right, we just moved down past this bit of shallow water we were stood next to. It seems to deepen off sort of straight in front of us here. Buzzard? A couple of buzzards. Just deepens off, so hopefully we can run through a bit better. We'll give it 20 minutes in here and then we'll have a move to the next pool down. We're trying there. I always like to work my way downstream, because then any mash we're throwing in here, because it's so wet, it's gonna run through. Right, I think I'm going to call it there for now. I might come back. I think it's just a bit too shallow and a bit too sunny at the moment for this swim. I think I'm going to move down there. There's a bit of cover down there, a bit of shade. I think we might do better off down there. So we'll get off downstream. So next up, we've got a peg. We actually had a chub from last time. A bit of an old reed bed in front of us. Bit of slack of water in here. You can probably see the difference between this and the previous swim. It's going a lot slower in here, which tells me it's a bit deeper. Bit of cover over there as well, obviously that old dead tree there. We'll see if we can do anything in here. Like I say, there was a chub in here last time we were in anyway. There's a fishing platform down here, but I'm going to avoid getting on that. I don't want to make too much noise. And I don't know, about 10 foot further upstream as well. Which means I can fish from right behind this reed bed. Fish all the way down. Right, I'm going to have a bit of a guess that it's a bit deeper. Or, as I say, watercraft tells me it's a bit deeper because it's going slower. So we'll stick a foot on, see what we can do. God, terrible conditions. Right, cross your fingers. See how that runs through. I say it is a lot steadier through here. Oh yeah, it is a lot steadier. See, I've stuck a foot on and it's still running through without a problem. That's just, oh, we're in. I was going to say it's just starting to trip bottom. Look at that, first run through. Can you believe it? I'm not going to complain at that. Just about to say it's just tripping bottom. The float sort of waggled a couple of times and then sank under. God, this is a reasonable fish. Come on, out. Oh, he's trying to get under that cover. No. It's a dogged slow scrap. That's cracking. think we got him beat. He's not even that big, but he's a nice fish. Oh, that'll do for starters. Wonderful. Oh, he's a decent fish actually. I was doing a bit of a disservice. Well, as about that in the afternoon sunshine. Cracking. Absolutely wonderful. Right, we shall get him in the edge here. We can get him off the edge of this platform. Got some deep water. Well, that's a fantastic start. The problem is we took him quite a long way down, so we had to bring him right back through the run. Well, that's not ideal. But certainly can't complain about catching the fish first run through. And I would say that means it's got enough clarity for the fish to be able to see the bait coming. I just got him down here in the net because if we let him go, he's certainly going to wreck the swim. There's some deep water off the end of that platform. God, a lovely day today. Stood in this sun. Just poked behind a cloud actually, but it's lovely. Actually a bit warm. Oh, see, it's gone down the same place again there. Often find this, the place where the float naturally gets pulled under is the place where you get bites. Always worth a strike. It may well be one and out though. Quite often on these small rivers it's one bite and you might as well move. But not knowing too much about this stretch, it's worth persevering I think. And also the fact that I seem to remember last time I came here I caught a fish and then I had a bite as well. I had another bite, so there's clearly, or certainly that day there was more than one fish sitting in this pool. Like I say, the only trouble is we caught this one right at the bottom of the swim, which is not ideal at all. No, we're in that snag again. Keep catching that snag. There we go. A reed bed or something. I keep pulling bits of reed out. Right. I'll call it there, I think. But yeah, we've had a fish. First run through. Bizarre. And then, well, pretty much first run through. I think it was first run through. I think I've had one bite. Possibly. It may have been the bottom, but it did sort of feel like a bit of a bite. But fancy going exploring. So we'll get this fella back. We'll give it a good sort of 20 minutes, half an hour in there. We'll get this chap back. God, very lively. Right. Let's get a bit further upstream. So this was the next swim. Fancied having a go at. Bit of flow out there, bit of a crease, bit of slack water on the inside. And when we fished here last, a few weeks ago, we had a chub out of here as well. Again, on the ledger. I ledgered last time, so Be nice to see if we can have anything out. Sprinkle a bit of bait in for 5 minutes. Now, as you can see here, the river's a lot wider. Oh, just be careful here. Slipping forward without realising. The river's quite a lot wider, even though we're upstream. But it's sort of opens out a bit, and there's a sort of carrier coming in just behind us. So it'll be interesting to see how we do here. Starting to think now perhaps we'll spend maybe, I don't know, half an hour or an hour in here, depending what happens. Now I think I might grab the ledger gear, because I've spoke to my mate Mick, and he said he's going to come down as well, so we'll perhaps go for a rove then with the ledger gear, because swims further down are much more suited to ledger tactics. I think we'll be better off ledgering down there. That's my thoughts at the moment anyway, but we'll see. We'll just run this through here and try and get it to a depth that seems near the bottom. Don't want to go too far past that tree, otherwise if we do hook anything of any size it's just going to get straight into that tree and we're going to lose the fish and a load of gear, which is not good. If you're interested in how I set this gear up, I'll direct you to a video up there and down in the description as well, where I describe how I set this trotting gear up. Much easier than showing you on the bank. I made a dedicated video about it. All the bits and pieces will be in the description as well, if you want to go and have a look. It's lovely just running that float down the crease there. It's gone under. Yeah, there's definitely something down there. We shall have a tiny bit. Just catching down there. We're, what are we? Just 6 foot, I'd say. I'll take 4 inches off. We're in. I saw that go under, I thought, have we got the bottom? The answer is no, we haven't. We got a fish. Right on that crease. God blimey, it's pulling. It's exactly where you'd expect him, just underneath that tree. Right, sat in that crease, waiting for bits of bread to come along. Ooh. Well, this feels a reasonable fish. Can't actually bring him up in the water at the moment. He's not having any of it at all. And I'm giving him line. He's going out in the middle, so that's all right. God, what a scrap. Put my arm off. God, what a scrap. Come on, chap. just out in the float, trudging. If we can get him into the slack of water, it'll be a bit better. There we go. Ah, it's a trout. No wonder it's scrapping so hard. Oh, that's not great. It's not what we intended to catch at all. Ah. God, I thought he was scrapping. God, it's a monster. I thought that was a really big chub then. Oi, oi, come on. God. Lovely brownie. Come on, we don't want to catch you. God, he's a cracking fish. God, still not giving up. God, he's very thin, but he's an absolute monster. Oh, well, it's a very, very unintentional PB because they're out of season. But we'll let him get his breath back. What a fish. So apologies to the out of season police, but didn't intend on catching him at all. I'm not even going to weigh him. I'm not going to mess him about. We'll get him straight back, rest him up and get him back. Well, we've got him just down here in the net, just resting up for a couple of minutes while he gets his breath back. So that was an epic scrap. I know, as I say, I know they're out of season, so don't hate me. I didn't catch him on purpose. And to be honest, if I'm honest, I'm a little bit disappointed it wasn't a big chub. But as I say, we'll have a run through or two while he's down here, just getting his breath back, and then we'll get him back in. Now this is more a swim, the sort of swim that would hold multiple fish. We might have a few fish out of. I'm thinking chub, or who knows what really, perhaps roach, who knows. Right, let's get this fella back. He's had a few minutes just to rest up. We'll give him his freedom. Off you go, chap. There he goes. Fab. That was unexpected, but yeah, as I say, unexpected and a little bit disappointed it wasn't a big chub, but never mind. As I say, a couple of weeks, month's time, I'm not sure what exactly when the trout season starts. I'll have to check, but should perhaps be doing a bit of spinning for them. I'll have to check this stretch whether we're allowed to fish this in the closed season for trout, because there's fish like that about. I'd certainly like to. I've just been drizzling this mash in. I've not had another bite. It's only been five minutes probably, but I've not had anything else, any other interest. But you know, as you've seen, it only takes one bite, doesn't it? I make mix here now, so I might give it a little bit longer and then perhaps go for a wander with the ledger gear down the stretch. As I say, I think with it being not too clear, I think we might be better further down the stretch. It's a bit more twisty and sort of overhangs and snags and stuff. A bit more suitable down there for the ledger gear. We'll give it a bit longer in here though. I'm sure there's some chub under there. It's got to be. It's just coming around. There's a big back eddy under that tree. It's just coming around under there now. That is. Right, nothing else doing there. We give it, oh blimey, 20 minutes, probably half an hour since we've had that trout, something like that, at least. And not another sniff. I'm amazed. I think what I'm going to do is drop a little bit of bait in here, although we have been putting some bait in, but some more stodgy mash bread that will go in and stay down there. We'll perhaps pop back in a bit, have a go. I'm going to go and change the rod over. I think we'll go on the ledger, go for a bit of a rove. Bottom of the stretch is much more suited to ledgering, definitely. So I'll go and stick some waders on so we can sit on the floor without getting soaking wet, change rods, and we'll get off down the stretch. Well, I was just coming back from the car after having get changed, and Mick's just had a chub. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's quite a nice fish.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Caught on bread flake, £3 and 9 ounces. So yeah, very nice arrow chub. We didn't actually fight that hard, really.
Lovely long fish. Really long.
Pretty good nick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty good nick, so can't complain.
Cracking.
Great.
Right, let's go for a wonder, shall we?
Yeah.
So, time has kind of got away from me a bit. So, the sun has set. So it's getting on a bit. I'm not going to give it too much longer. But I really wanted to finish off in this swim where we had the trout. I've done a few swims further down the stretch with only a few taps and rattles and nibbles. Nothing to write home about. I did want to finish off in here because I'm sure it's good for another bite. But not only that, you know, we've been baiting it for sort of best part of an hour earlier, perhaps 45 minutes, something like that. So there's been a reasonable amount of bait going here, and it does look good for a bite. Again, we're sticking with the bread. I might put some worms on, or a worm on, perhaps. I'm sticking with the bread for now. Certainly what it's light. I bet it works just as well in the dark, to be fair, bread. We'll just drop that down there where we were. Donk. Where we were trotting. Was that a tap already? Or was it me pulling the line? I think it was me. Right, get the landing net ready in anticipation, because I really do fancy this for a bite. I think this is going to do a bite. Mick has just come along the bank to say he's just had a trout. He didn't keep it, obviously, because they're out of season. But he's just done a quick picture, so I'll stick you a picture up so you can have a look at it. Yeah, blimey, day of the trade today. Can't believe it. And he's caught that ledger in bread as well. So these trout are certainly on the bread today. All right. Oh, nearly struck that then if that had kept going. Oh, I was going to strike it. Some interest. Finally, I was sat here. I've been sat here for 10 or 15 minutes thinking, why am I not getting any bites? It's big fish o'clock, and we're in a cracking swim that we've been baiting up for an hour earlier, and we've left it to rest for another hour. Right, there are some fish here. Hopefully, not out of season brownies. I'm not quite sure how I missed that though. Because when I hit it, I'm pretty sure it was still going round. Oh, how have I missed that? How have I missed that? Unbelievable. A bit strange because we've still got some bait on. Are they grabbing the feeder again? As we had a few videos ago. Well, Mick's just come up and showed me the picture of his trout. He's just moving swims. And it does look very similar to the one that I caught. So whether or not it's the same fish, we don't know. It looked very similar. We're going to have to compare footage. Obviously you'll know better than we do, having seen the picture of his fish. But yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. But if it is, it's gone 200 or 300 metres downstream. It clearly likes some bread, but he said he didn't fight very hard as well, which is another thing that makes me think perhaps it was the same fish, because he gave us a right beating. That's a bit of a strange one, isn't it, if that's happened. Very weird. But it did look a similar fish, but you know, if it's a similar size, then I guess it would. A big old head. Clearly likes the bread. He must be thinking, blimey, what have I got to do today? If it was the same fish. What have I got to do today to get some bread? As I say, it's gone a long way downstream, if it is the same one. But what are the odds within, God, I don't know, hour and a half at the most? Well, I'm going to call it a day there. It's just got dark, nothing else happening. We had those 2 or 3 proper, real clangy bites, which I missed somehow, goodness knows how. But in the last sort of 20 minutes, they've stopped, and all I'm getting is little taps and rustles on the quiver tip. I sat there wondering what it was, and I think I've come to the conclusion it's probably crayfish. I don't know this river at all, so I don't know if there's a cray issue here, but that's how it's seeming to me anyway. It seems like crayfish, and if there's crayfish down there, there's probably not any chub down there. So probably time to go home. It's time to go home anyway. It's probably 6:30, 7 o'clock now. So definitely time to be making tracks, because I'll be out again in the next day or two, possibly on this river again, or possibly on another tributary to the Avon, and I certainly want to get down the Avon. Hopefully that keeps dropping before the end of the season. So yeah, a bit of a strange session. I thought I'd have done much better ledgering today than float fishing, but we've struggled a bit with the ledgering, and did all right with float fishing, so there you go. You never quite know, do you? Anyway, I'm waffling, time to go home. For now, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Tight lines, enjoy your own angling. Many thanks to the channel patrons for your fantastic support, and I'll see you again very soon.